off with a dramatic return in Norman as Josh Heupel and the Tennessee Volunteers are set to face Brett Venables and the Oklahoma Sooners in an SEC showdown on Saturday. This will be a reunion for the two coaches who are both part of the legendary Bob Stoops coaching staff, where Heupel played and coached the quarterback position. While both teams are undefeated this season, stopping that Tennessee offense is something that will be a huge challenge for the Oklahoma defense.
Welcome to the life of a defensive coordinator. We live and die in that world. I try to, every once in a while, I'll get out of there and I'll go in the offensive room so I don't have to live there anymore. That's very peaceful to live in that space. If I could be reborn again, I would 100% come back as an offensive coach. But this is the stiffest challenge that we'll have. And there'll be several other teams that play with tempo throughout the year. But this will be the strongest one up to this point in time and one of the hardest in all of college football.
Tennessee is not creating peace. They are lighting up scoreboards at a historic pace. Through just 3 games, the Vols have outscored opponents by 178 points, the highest differential in SEC history. Led by electrifying freshman QB Nico Iamaleava, Tennessee's 191 points leads all FBS teams. This Vols offense isn't just breaking records, they're redefining them. So Sam, how does Oklahoma's defense stop Tennessee?
Well, it's actually really simple. They just need to put some speed bumps out every about 10 yards to slow down this Tennessee offense, because this Tennessee offense, it's crazy how fast they go. And not even from a speed perspective, but from a yards gained perspective. We talk about the point differential. Let's talk about their running game. Tennessee has rushed for over 1,000 yards this season. We're only 3 games into the season. That's over 300 plus yards average on the ground. Not to mention their quarterback. So this is what they do. They get you distracted by Nico Iamaleava, get you distracted trying to say his name, then they just hand the ball off. They went for 450 yards last week. Then versus NC State, over 250. So this team is running the ball at an electric and an elite pace, and they spread you out, and they have wide rush lanes so that you have to say, okay, do I try to slow down this running game? Do I try and slow down Nico? That's what makes them so difficult. But we talked about it. It's very easy. Just bring some speed bumps out on the football field.
You had me going there for a second when you said it was simple. I was like, hold on a second. We didn't talk about this earlier. Well, hold on a minute. So listen, let's start with the pace of play, right? The pace of play, what's interesting is everybody can go fast. The question is, can you go fast and execute at a high level? And what they've been able to do is execute at such a high level and maintain the pace of speed offensively that they put you in a bind on defense because you can't substitute. Remember, if the offense doesn't substitute and you want to substitute on defense, the offense does not have to wait for you. So if they get you stuck on the field with the wrong personnel on defense, you're going to have your hands full. I think secondly, everybody talks about Nico in the pass game. It's the run game of Tennessee, and how they get into it is they spread you thin to get a light box, and then they run it right down your throat. But Oklahoma, 10 sacks, right? 11 sacks, 10 forced turnovers on defense. I think they're going to be ready for them.
And to your point, Luke, you have to make them one-dimensional. That's the difference. So you can't not let them run the ball and pass the ball. Nico Iamaleava versus NC State, he had a couple mistakes. He wasn't looking the same way he looked in week 1. I think there was an interception or 2. And so, okay, slow down the run, maybe add one extra person in the box and force Nico Iamaleava to beat you with his arm. And maybe he can do it, but at least you're not getting gashed left and right. At least you're forcing him into your strength, which is rushing the quarterback and forcing turnovers.
Well, the Volunteers have consistently outscored their opponents by 40 or more points in every game this season, so we should see. But the Vols are also making headlines off the field as well. Tuesday, they announced a price hike for football tickets in 2025, a new 10% talent fee for all invoices to help fund the proposed revenue share for athletes and help Tennessee attract and keep the best talent. So we're bringing in Pete Thamel. Pete, what kind of trend could this potentially create for other schools?
Well, Victoria, it's a great question. And really, this is a ticket hike disguised as a talent fee. And you know when it's easy to do that, Victoria? It's easy to do that when you're number 6 in the country, when you're selling out your 100,000 plus seat stadium, and when you have Nico Iamaleava, and you can call it a talent tax, basically, is what this is. If you want to help retain Nico, you pay this money. So, look, every school in the country knows with the rev share coming next year, they're going to need to raise more money. So, credit Danny White, the athletic director at Tennessee, for some creative marketing to get in your wallet.
Iamaleava, right? Sam said it twice already,
Yes.
so Pete, you and I got to get busy on this thing. Listen,
Iamaleava.
I don't know why. Yeah, that's it. I don't know why anybody's surprised about this.
No.
This is what we all signed on for. The moment we started paying players, what did you think was going to happen? The price of doing business has gone up. And you're right. Winning cures all woes, and people will gladly pay it. But this isn't just coming to Tennessee. This will be nationwide before we know it, because you've got to come up with a way to combat the $20 million settlement. Everybody's going to have to come up with some creative ways.
Yeah, this is just the beginning of this trend, I'm sure. Now, Tennessee